I'm Tabitha Rock.
And I'm Sam Davenport.
Born and bred in Melbourne, we live and breathe property, and we know the Melbourne market like the back of our hand. We've both been buying and selling real estate in Metro Melbourne for over 2 decades combined, and we've learned a few lessons along the way. Okay, we've got the wonderful Sammy back in the hot seat. It just feels like yesterday that she was on the Property Culture podcast.
Hello. In her first week of working with us, we're like, do you want to come on the podcast?
Day 3.
Yeah, deer in the headlights.
Oh my God.
She absolutely dominated. The people loved her. And we thought to ourselves, why not get her back?
I know. I was crapping myself.
I was going to say, get her back in, let her redeem herself. But I can't believe that now when I look back on that, I'm like, tough ask.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. I feel like we did well though. You know,
100%,
like even last night I was like, I'm not that nervous about today. You know, I'm feeling okay. Whereas, the first week I was like, geez, okay, this is what we're doing. But,
and, and like just back from some form of mat leave, even though, of course, I know you had been working as well, but just getting the wheels turning in the brain.
It's all right.
You
Real
know?
estate agent, you can think on your feet, you know. Let's go.
Yeah, you can. No, but it's so good because we're so interested to hear like different aspects of what the first year has looked like, what you've enjoyed, what you've found fascinating, what you're like the interesting deals that you've been doing, and because obviously you're a Bayside baddie and you dominate down there, and I'm sure all the agents are loving working with you down there because it's interesting. I think that a lot of people think that we sort of punch heads with real estate agents, but actually it's quite a collaborative, like, you know, yes, we're trying to get the best deal for our client, you're trying to get the best deal, but we're working together.
We're working together. Oh, yeah. I feel like the agent relationships have soared, you know, and I saw that from week 1 with, you know, shadowing you guys and like coming to deals and meeting clients and things like that. And I was like, wow, it really is fundamentally down to good agent relationships, trying to work with the ones that you want to work with. We've had great clients. Like it has been so fun sitting on the other side of the fence. And different client briefs. And also I feel like, I mean, when you're a sales agent, you do have you know, there is a start and an end date, but when you're in property management, it really is quite a long process and you manage these clients for a long time, which is great when it's all great, but when it's bad, it's bad. But it's also nice this side where we're actually buying property for people. We're buying their house or their family home or investment property, and there is a start and a finish too, which is nice, and then on to the next, you know, and it's just been fun. Hasn't it?
Right. Well, I think it's been so good. Like I reminisce of there was one brief in Richmond, and one of your previous companies that you worked for managed a lot of rental properties, and I just found that you reaching out to those great contacts that you had for so many years was so beneficial to our clients, getting them more options off market than they would have got themselves, and just, you know, your Bayside knowledge is excellent. And then also from the investor perspective and the investor briefs you've been working with, just having the property management lens on it all.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, that is a landscape in itself
100%.
and constantly changing. And we definitely, like, in my consults, I definitely say, like, do you want to do this? The investment property in Victoria, because it means X, Y, and Z. Are you comfortable? Yes, I'm comfortable.
Yes.
Let's proceed.
Absolutely.
And you would know all that.
Absolutely. And when we're looking at property that hasn't been leased out before,
Yes.
we really have to look at it through a different lens for an investor. Because we need to make sure minimum standard checks are going to be adhered to. We need to make sure what's the safety box, what's the electrical safety box look like? Because, you know, that's a 2,000 upgrade before you even get a tenant, you know, and that does happen. And people need to know this, you know, and so it's not just as easy as, buy an investment property, chuck a tenant in. There's a lot of tick boxes now. And so I bring that knowledge to the clients too.
I know.
I
love it. You've updated all our little communications to our clients with the investor only, you know, all of that information. I mean, it is so critical. And obviously as the years are going on, and particularly in this last year or since you've been with us, we've had such an upswing in investor clients. Like we've just had, I mean, it's been a constant flow of investors who are looking to buy something deep Bayside. Well, obviously that's where we're recommending that they purchase these investment properties.
For Sub-A-Mil.
For Sub-A-Mil, exactly.
Yeah.
And so, having you there and be able to really start your little journey with the prop culture team, doing that and running those searches has been so good. And all the agents love you.
Oh,
we already know that. I mean, every single time I speak to any one of them, they're like, Sammy's great. Or I love when you get the text. So if you've gone to an appointment or something and then you get the text sort of 10 minutes later, Sammy's great. You know?
I think you're like,
I know, mate.
That's nice.
Yeah. But, I give that feedback to people as well. Like, I'll be like, whoever that person that you've just hired is,
the funny
they're
thing
worth
is,
keeping.
though, finally people now know that we are two people.
I know.
Because when I'm Sammy from Prop Culture, they're like, yeah, hey, Sam Davenport. And I'm like, no. But now I feel like I'm my own person.
Yeah. I really have made a point.
Sammy.
I've made a point to say to everyone, Sam and Sammy. It's crazy, I know, but
being
it's
confusing. But
too.
I feel like they get it now. They get it.
Yeah, they're definitely getting it. I mean, down there, they're all over it.
Yeah,
they know exactly what's up.
Yeah. You're old news.
100%. I haven't spoken to any of them for a while.
But also it's so hilarious because we do have a Tammy that obviously calls agents.
I
so they're like,
know.
It is
Tammy
It
or
is too
Sammy.
much.
And
it is insane.
Well, we just like to keep people on their toes.
We could have had an Alicia, a Margaret, a Sarah, and an Ebony. Yeah, but there's clearly four separate people.
Yeah.
Sam, Sammy, Tammy, and Tabitha.
I mean,
Look,
I
it's
think
just
I'm the
like a
only
mistake.
good one in that little.
I know. But
only good name.
Sometimes when, on a Friday night, we might call you
dangerous
Tabby.
foursome.
Yes.
Tabby and Tammy and
So we
Sammy
don't
and
ever. So don't ever call me that. Someone said, do people call you Tabby? And I go, do I look like a Tabby?
Exactly.
And they're like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Do I act like a Tabby? Do I sound like a Tabby?
Oh my God. But what's tell us one deal that sticks
Okay.
in your mind that you've been involved with so far and why it stands out. Talk us through a little bit of how it went down.
I've got a couple. Okay, I've got two. I feel like I've got my first and my most recent.
Yeah.
First one was that deal in Hughesdale. It was my first week too, so I was shadowing you for a day. Sort of, what's the life? Day in the life of Sam Davenport. I'll let you know she eats her lunch in her car every single day.
Oh,
that's one insider hot tip. That's how hard she works though.
Every day.
The bloody cops are going to be following her outside of this podcast studio.
We can't do that again.
Distracted driving.
Yeah. Okay, she's stationary. I'll make that. She's usually in a park.
Grounding herself, actually.
Shoes off.
Shoes off. So these clients, the property had been passed in an auction on the Saturday.
Yeah.
This was Monday. It was clear that this was the one that they wanted, and which was great. It's cool. We went there. We ticked all the boxes. There was another buyer in the mix now, and so it was, okay, there's two of us. What's the process? And I was in the car with Sam. She was on the phone to the agent, and it was hilarious, but also very impressive because I was like, wow, this is the agent
frantically scribbling down notes.
Yeah. You were trying to get a process from the agent, and what does this look like today, and how are we going to, work together and essentially buy the property, but we know there's someone else in the mix. And he wasn't really giving you a process. He was saying, well, this A example or B example, and then you were like, no, it has to be one or the other, And eventually he was like, well, fine, we'll just do it your way. And then you were like, fantastic. That's exactly what I want.
Love that.
Thank
Okay,
you.
speak to you soon.
Speak to you soon. And then so it ended up being that you've obviously got to get your best and final in that afternoon. The clients were lovely couple, so great. They clearly really, really wanted the property as well. And so they had been to their broker and they had their max figure that they could borrow. And essentially, I truly believe that if you weren't in the mix, they would have just gone back with their max figure.
Yeah.
Because of how badly they wanted it.
Yeah.
And you just came in and were like, no, there's no need to do that, And I think it was about 60 grand difference.
Yeah.
So it was it's not
Massive,
5-6 grand. It was 60 grand. And you said, no, I think this is what we should do because I believe this is what the other buyer budget has based on the conversations that I've had with the agent and dissecting. He wasn't giving us a lot, but you could still dissect and get as much as you can. And they said, oh, God, okay, all right. Well, that was a lot less than what we were going to do. And anyway, we got it. And it was fantastic. And they were just over the
so
moon.
happy.
And so I was like, wow, this is okay.
Yeah.
This is a difference.
We're really doing something
We are really
here.
doing something
Yeah.
here because they were stressed. They wanted it, but you just came in with a calm head and we got it. So I was very impressed by first week. So.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Yay.
Well
It's
done,
so
Sam.
funny. I love that when people say, but like, I don't understand, how are you getting the intel? And it's like, so we used to do sales training where they used to recommend that we say, oh, you're down on Smith Street, aren't you? And then obviously the buyer that's walked through the door that says they're living in Richmond are like, no, we're on May Street. That's right, number 20.
Yeah.
No, we're just
12.
next door.
Yeah.
And then next minute we've got their address. They're in our database. We're going to prospect them until they die, or we die.
Yeah.
Whichever one goes out first. So that's how we get the intel that other people don't, because we know the little like tricks and turns and stuff and the I hate to use the word dialogue, but that's what it is.
I know. But then can I give you one more? My most recent?
Yeah.
Time out.
Because now I feel like, okay, year in, I'm really a part of the process from start to finish.
Yeah.
Obviously still with both of your help. But and I have created great agent relationships, as you said. And I was in a meeting with you, I think, Tab, and this particular agent called and he said, I've got the next property you're going to buy in Frankston. And I was like, but I actually love this agent because he doesn't bullshit. And when he does say that, I kind of think, all right, I know it's a line, but also I'm like, send it my way. Because also he's not showing anyone else that. This is exclusive access.
Yeah.
This is something off his rent roll and that already had a tenant in it. So, do we have an investor? We had just signed on those new clients, interstate investors. And it's also a bit of a balancing act in that way because they've just signed on. It's a week
like
in.
2 days.
They were so fast, So, but you can't not see it.
No.
And so obviously went down there, saw it. Great property. Just loved it. I really thought it was a great investment. And then comes speaking to these new clients who have just signed on, explaining to them that this is a good purchase. But we are so early in the piece that if this is too soon, it's okay. Another opportunity will come along.
Yeah.
But and some people do say it is too soon.
Yeah.
We have actually lots of clients, especially first-home buyers, that say it is too soon. And we say, all good, no dramas. Another
But
one
then
will come along.
always give the stories of how I bought my properties and it's been in the first week and because I haven't overthought it, just jumped in, locked in, and they've actually been the best decisions.
And
whereas like I feel like I'm looking at the moment and I'm looking and flapping about and it's a nightmare.
And I think, exactly. And we did also say that to them quite strongly, say, look, something at 320 square metres for what your budget is, it's actually very unusual.
Yeah.
So here's a few comps
Yeah.
to show you that this purchase does actually stack up.
Yes.
And if you're ready to go, I think we should do it. And
Yeah.
they said, no, let's do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, great, this is fantastic, you know.
Yeah.
So
I definitely think, though, when clients are that comfortable, it comes down to the process and how you've talked them through
100%.
from that plan of attack and, you know, they're on board with the scope. I spoke to some potential clients yesterday and I was like, we're not selling you snake oil as interstate investors. If you don't believe in what we're buying and why we're doing it, you shouldn't sign on with us. And if you do believe and trust it and understand it, then you should be ready to buy almost immediately once signing on.
Yeah.
Because we're not the conveyor belt, are we?
No.
No. There's so many investment strategies out there now, which is Australia-wide, that is they are not. Most of them are sight unseen anyway.
I mean,
but that's just not our boutique service.
No.
We are.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's so, you know, it's the runs on the board that just make it so obvious. Like I was just speaking to an agent yesterday and he was giving me some like clients who he was saying he was going to refer to me. Great. And he was using examples of the properties that they currently had or that they had previously purchased with another advocate. And they were all main roads. 2 of them were brand new developments on main roads. And I'm like, so what is the possible conversation from the advocate's perspective in terms of getting that client to sign that contract? How are you proving and showing this is a good idea?
Yeah.
Like what data are you finding to support that purchase? I just was shocked, and that's current, that's today. So I always just think, literally buyer beware. You think that you're engaging someone to help you navigate the market and to find something that's going to perform well or better than you could find for yourself. Not all made equal at all. Not all made equal. But that new one, that recent one that you're talking about was so amazing because I think the way that you worked through that process was by seeing where the potential hurdles were, which was that it was too soon, obviously, and making sure that you were communicating with the client everything about that, and then following it up with the detailed due diligence to show and to help them understand that this is a good purchase and leaving that with them, but all with full communication. So letting them know that's what you were going to do, sending it through, leaving it with them, following up with them the next day. Meanwhile, keeping the selling agent at bay who was psychotically contacting us daily for a signed contract. And all we were saying to him was all we need is just a little bit of time.
Just a couple more days.
Which normally we would, and he knows, and we spoke to him about this, normally we would close something with him within the day. But this was a little bit different. We needed time. All we needed was time.
That's it.
Yeah. No, but you nailed that. It was so good.
Yeah, it was a good one.
I think what also you've been so good kind of in that vein is understanding how people are feeling and tell the people because you've just recently gone through a purchase yourself and maybe that's I don't know if that's changed how you feel, how you communicate, how you understand what emotions are coming up for people, whether it's an investment or owner-occupier. Tell us first about your purchase.
The purchase. I bought a regional property.
Yeah,
so
great.
In Melbourne. But
you're not moving though?
No, I'm not. Oh, no, pure
No.
investment.
Okay.
No, investment only. It was – I actually wasn't that nervous. I think when it comes down to it. I obviously felt the anxiety of when you both sign and then you're like, oh, crap, okay, we haven't done this.
I'm going to pay for this now.
I'm going to pay for this now.
Mortgage repayments.
But I was pretty excited by the whole process. But I do love people and I do understand the the gravity or, if you're buying a family home, and if it's going to be for 5, to 10 years or even longer, I can understand that it's like, I want to get it right, and so we just want to make people feel comfortable and also we can back it up with, pricing analysis and the due diligence, which I think some buyers out there on their own, they're not really getting that double layer.
Yes.
Whereas, and they've got all the emotion around it as well and they just don't have someone with that clear head coming in and saying, no, this is good.
Yes.
Well, that goes back to that first story you said, first deal. That's exactly it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Supporting their feelings with data.
Exactly.
Just a little double layer.
Yeah.
I like that. Someone write that down.
Did I?
You said that. That's a new line. You, as I said, Bayside Batty, you live around the Beaumaris area, ish.
Yeah.
I can't say exactly where you live.
Sorry. I was going to say very close.
Yeah, ish. But what's one suburb you've been loving buying in and thought, this has got some great opportunities or something interesting you found in that suburb?
Hands down Frankston.
Really?
Yeah, I'm loving going down there and buying there. We love that coffee shop with the
Don't
cafe.
we? Did you buy your print yet?
I know, not yet.
Sammy!
Oh my God, stop.
This is
Hang
a
on,
side
whoa.
conversation. This is not a podcast conversation.
Let's go down there.
Yeah,
No.
well, I
We
want to
need
buy a smart work too, guys. Include me.
It's so sweet. Anyway, it's
the best.
really sweet.
It's
a good
always
spot.
sunny
Good
in Frankston.
buys.
Oh, dear God.
And do you know what else I kind of like?
Right.
The agents. Well,
I
love the
know.
agents.
Same.
One I went to a inspection with and she was wearing denim shorts.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
So
just come
refreshing.
from the beach, but also love it.
Yeah.
And it was hot,
Yeah.
But, I was like, denim shorts, all right, cool. This is a different vibe down here.
Oh, yeah.
Well, once upon a time, I did date a guy that was in Frankston South, and I was like, this is kind of good.
Yeah.
Like, you know, everyone's fit and
beach.
healthy and swims every morning, and there's a cute little caravan coffee shop.
I know, I love
and
that caravan
like,
shop.
you know, a very much community feel, and you can feel that it's gentrifying, and there's bars popping up. And
popping up everywhere.
Whatever that two-story, no, see, I don't know the name of it now. It'll ruin the story. But there's a two-story place near the beach. It's got like an upstairs balcony.
Oh,
thing
yes, that
apparently
pub.
goes off.
It does. I've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the selling agents down there do it so differently. They are much more inclined to get something done really quickly.
Yes, yeah.
And they're much more inclined to be very direct.
Yeah, they
very
are, which we
straightforward,
like.
very that's
good.
how
Let's
we
not
operate.
play
That's
games.
how I operate. Yeah.
No, it's fantastic.
Sometimes I come back into Stonington. I'm like, wait, what? So I'm trying to
know.
decipher what you're telling me.
4-week auction campaigns.
4 weeks.
4
I
weeks.
saw it. I like it. I want to buy it.
know.
Let's go.
Yeah. Frankston, you see it on Thursday, you buy
Buy
it
it
on
on
Monday.
Monday.
You know,
Totally.
like, it's just, this is great.
They don't muck around down there.
No, they do not.
Yeah.
It's
great.
It's been interesting though. Have you found that it was super competitive down there and a lot of like buyer agents and, you know, fast moving stock at the start, and now it's petered off a little bit?
I think so. Yeah. I think at the beginning it was moving so fast.
It was
and
crazy.
I was even thinking about this the other day. What we were buying a year ago is not available at that level.
No.
In Frankston Seaford.
100%.
Not at all.
No.
So that's cool in itself because you're like, well done for those clients. You know, you can already see, you know, the growth in just 12 months. But I think it has tapered off a bit. I think, you know, probably economic times and international issues, I think, have changed the game a little bit. People are a little bit, you know, they're just not as out there. I think the market shifted a bit. But there's still a lot of investors buying down there. There's also still a lot of young families moving down that way because it's just more affordable.
And
you
there's
get
still
more
a
bang
lot
for
of
your buck.
value down there too. I think that a lot of what's stalling it ever so slightly or pulling it back a little bit is that it's had the growth. It's had this jump in growth. And so anything that was 800,000 or 780 or 820 is now 950. So it's not as good value anymore. So then there's not as strong competition at 950 naturally. If you put it back on at 820, it'd be the same, you know.
That's it.
But because it has sort of grown past that super amazing value point, then it's sort of coming back naturally.
Yeah, it's stabilising.
Yeah, stabilising. Yeah. Stabilising, but at that increased level.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But compromised property, the first to fall off once again. And when you first started with us, that was when you saw it. You saw what was going on down there with the houses, the freestanding houses.
Yeah.
Around that sort of 800 to 900K mark. And it was insane what was happening. And so then the desperation of that fear of missing out and missing the market and it going beyond you meant that people were compromising. They were buying on the main roads and the bus route. There's one big bus route that goes right through Coringal. We never bought property on that.
We do not, do we?
We would never. And God, you thought about it though.
Yeah, when it was
you really did.
Sometimes
you thought,
I was like,
oh,
Sam,
maybe.
come on.
Yeah.
There's not a bus stop at the front.
Yes, exactly.
It's
and
a
it
bus
was
route,
like,
but there's no
I
bus
don't
stop
know.
at the front.
But
No,
we didn't. We kept
kept hustling.
Kept our quality.
Yes.
I
high.
always say to potential clients, like, if I'm not putting it in my portfolio, I'm not putting it in yours. And so, like, I want you to sit pretty for 5, 7, 10 years, not thinking that you've bought a dud.
I want to be jealous of what I've purchased.
I
for.
love that feeling.
You know? Yeah, that I'm like,
I do all
wish
the
that
time.
was, and I do, same.
Yeah, same.
That recent one, I was like, I wish I bought that.
I actually get sometimes annoyed.
Yeah.
Well, you bumped into a past client recently at an event, and I was like, yeah. Didn't she pass on the information from a different agent, not even one that sold it to her, that said that he valued it $400,000 more than what she purchased it for? And I was like, yeah, you just made $400,000 overnight from Sam doing your work.
Yeah,
I know. It's insane.
By paying a drop of that.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had some killer results the last year.
So many
Have you
good
had
ones.
any like random questions from clients like, I don't know, because I've often had things like, oh, did someone die in the property? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I'll ask. And, because of material facts, they have to tell us.
Yeah.
But And there was one time that I didn't do that, and evidently the guy did die in there, and evidently there was a ghost in the house.
Oh.
But she said she made friends with the ghost, so she was fine, and he kind of protected them. But she wasn't totally comfortable staying in the house for the first couple of months by herself when her husband and kid, when her husband was away. I know. So now I do it out of like.
Every time? Every time?
Well, no, when I hear it's like an executors or
yeah,
or I can feel it's a bit, we get a bit of that in the north, you know.
I feel like it's more of a north vibe. It's like Coburg, Preston.
Yeah, when you get
like
the
a bit of a spooky, not dying in their own, just like spooky overtones. Maybe that's just because I'm from south of the river.
Cool, cool, everything's all sunshiny in the south. It's like cool outfits and spooky overtones.
They're definitely cooler than me.
That's another line.
North. That is the north.
That's their tagline. But
our clients are pretty good. But we had one who said, is there a way that we can test the vibe on the street and not just the comps?
Yes.
And I was like, like I could walk up and down with a glass of wine and see if anyone wants to come out and join me, you know,
I love that.
The vibe. I don't know, but it is, I guess people want to know who they're like living next door to,
100%.
you know.
It's
we had that other one where we went to the inspection and the neighbour came out and started kind of like abusing us for how close we parked.
Yeah, I remember.
And
the buyer was there and we didn't buy that house.
This is off-putting.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah, because that's going to happen every day.
Yeah.
They think they own the physical street.
Yeah.
And I don't want that because
No.
I own the street with you. And I don't want you to think you own it more than – no, that's weird.
But I actually often say to agents, like, how can you sell the street more? Because I bought in this beautiful street in Melbourne East and they have like this gorgeous Christmas party. And I was like – that's a real selling point. Like we all love community and we don't get enough of that these days. So like how can you communicate that? I don't know.
I reckon that's where
knock on the doors and interview the neighbours.
Well, yeah.
But then they might be selling the next year. So then they're gone and you get a shit person.
Well, exactly. I reckon that's where like when with the vendor advocacy, I'll often get the owner to write a letter to the buyer.
Oh,
so
nice.
they are writing from their perspective all the stuff that they love about the house.
I think we normalise that.
Yeah,
I think that's moving forward.
Yeah, a letter to the buyer.
Bring
so
back
I
community,
say to them,
street parties, you know,
yes.
kids playing cricket
but
outside.
you don't.
That's
your
vibe.
That is so my vibe. I love that.
But that's it, is that how do you vibe check? And I think you should be able to in some capacity. And I think getting a letter from the owner to you as the buyer, no matter who you are or who it is just, it gives you an insight into like what is special about the space. And that includes the street. I just had this morning a client pull out of bidding on something on Saturday because she met the neighbour and she said, I don't want to live there.
Yeah. Wild.
But I also think like walk around a little. If you're the buyer, if you're going to really live there, walk around a little
I get
bit.
a feel
Walk
for the
around,
street,
walk around once or
definitely.
twice. Like don't just not walk around.
No.
Yeah. You want to look, eyes open, listening,
Where
thinking.
how am I going to be walking to the shops?
Totally.
You know, where's the street? Like you I definitely would want to know. I don't think that's a completely random question, but it's just how we vibe check that.
Totally, yeah. But it's funny because like I reckon after all these years of doing it, you drive down the street, you know.
Yeah,
you feel the
can
vibe
feel
in the
it.
street. And you can there's so many red flag giveaways, particularly less so than green flag. But green flags they're there as well. Like in a block, in a unit block, you can tell.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
You see
you know.
59,000 pairs of shoes outside the front door?
Yeah.
No. I'm not.
Or just like big thick
big no.
dust on all of the windows everywhere, like, and maybe all the curtains are closed or there's a broken window with it's got
okay, we're not buying there. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean? Like that's obvious.
We can see that. Yeah, that looks derelict.
Yeah. Totally.
Oh my God. Well,
Okay.
that was good.
That was fun.
Was it better than the first time?
Yeah, that was great.
Well, we have loved having you with us. I think
clients
it's
love
changed our
working with you.
game.
I feel like this is a real big pump up, but thanks.
No,
you know.
it's good. It's true though. It's changed, and it's good to do it publicly.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
It's changed the game for us.
public review,
and like it's so okay. We won't.
Love it.
Bye,
Thank you.
Nah, well done, Sammy. You're
thanks,
smashing it. And the clients love you. That's number one. And you're buying great stuff them.
Oh, thanks, gals. It's been an awesome year. Loved it.